Forward seat tilt is going to be an adjustment that we see in a lot of multifunction and high-end office chairs. But is it something that you actually need? What does it provide for you during your workday? In this video, we're going to take a close look at forward seat tilt so that you know if this is a function that you need for your everyday working. Forward seat tilt is one of those office chair functions that we get a lot of questions about here at BTOD, just because people want to know how important is it, am I actually going to use it in my setup, and how does it work? So we thought it would be helpful just to make a nice overview on what forward seat tilt is and whether or not it might be a good fit for you in your regular working day. Before we get into the video, I'd really encourage you to follow us on our social media channels. We have a lot of giveaways planned for the near future, along with some cool behind the scenes footage of things we've got going on here at BTOD. So the first thing that we're going to talk about is what forward seat tilt is and why it might be important for you. So forward seat tilt is basically giving you the ability to tilt your seat forward more than a parallel sitting position. Why is this important? It's important if you're in a heavy tasking, heavy computing application and you need to be in a more upright position to get that ergonomic posture for long hours. So what it does is it just puts you in a more perched forward position instead of sitting at a more 90-degree angle like a typical ergonomic setup. So now I'm just going to show you a handful of chairs, how to engage the forward seat tilt, and what it looks like when you are in a forward seat tilt position with a few different chairs, just so that you get an idea of what to expect. So the first one that we have here is the Herman Miller Aeron. You can get the forward seat tilt if you upgrade to that option with the tilt limiter. And so you can see when you recline normal, it's just going to keep the seat parallel. But if you recline just a tad and then flick this forward, it will allow you to move forward, and now you can see that the seat pan is more at a decline. My legs are tilted downwards and I am supported by the back. The back does move all the way up with me, and so you can see I can work in a more forward tasking upright posture. Next up, we got the Mirror 2, also from Herman Miller, and this chair is going to function a lot like the Aeron that we just took a look at. So it does have standard tilt. If I just recline, you can see that it's going to keep me in a normal position, about 90 degrees. If I go back a little and engage this lever here, then it'll allow me to move more forward. Not quite as forward as the Aeron, but you can see that my legs are still pitched downwards. I am a little bit more forward, and the back does come with me. So another chair where you're going to be fully supported in the forward seat tilt position. Next up, we've got the X chair, and this chair actually has the adjustment on the right side of the chair. So right now it's locked in position, but if I toggle this lever here, it will allow me to free recline, and when you free recline the chair, that's when you get access to the forward seat tilt. So I can come all the way forward like this. You can see my legs are pitched a little bit more forward. I'm in that more upright tasking position. You can see that the lower lumbar is on my lower back, but it doesn't come up to my upper back, so that is one thing to think about with the X chair. This is going to be the Neutral Posture XSM. This is going to be a specialty chair that is designed for petite or little people, and it does have a forward seat tilt function. So you can see when I sit down in the chair, it does have just a standard recline mode, but if you want to engage the forward seat tilt function, all you have to do is recline just slightly and then turn this knob, and you do have to turn it quite a few times. And that will unlock it and allow you to move all the way forward. So you can see my legs are pitched much more forward, the back comes with me, so this is a chair that does support your entire back through the forward seat tilt function. Next to me, we've got the Office Master Paramount Petite. This is going to be very similar to the neutral posture chair that we just took a look at, another specialty design chair with forward seat tilt, and it has a very similar looking lever as the XSM, but it does function slightly different, so I thought I'd show it to you here. You can see that when I sit down, it does have just a standard free recline mode, but if I want to engage that forward seat tilt, all I have to do is just recline slightly and then move this lever backwards, and it will allow me to move all the way forward and recline down in the seat. So nice forward seat tilt position. You can see that the backrest does support me on this chair, so another good model for that. And the last example of forward seat tilt that we're going to look at is going to be the Hayworth Fern chair. Now, this does function more like an independent seat angle adjustment chair because the back does not come with you. When you're just sitting in the chair normally, it does have a standard synchro tilt mechanism, a nice recline, but if I lock the backrest in place and then toggle the seat depth adjustment, it allows it to move up and down like this, but you can see that only the seat is moving. So I can still work in that perched upright position, but there's going to be some space in between my back and the backrest with the Fern chair. I do feel that there are a few things that you should consider when shopping for a chair with forward seat tilt. So the first and biggest thing that I think that you should consider is that most people do not need forward seat tilt. There are very few applications that are going to require this function. Taking our office as an example, almost everyone in our office spends a lot of time at their computer, editing, typing, tasking, and almost no one in our office likes forward seat tilt. There's only one person in our office that does like the function, and she rarely uses the function on her chair. So if this is something that you think that you really need, I would just think about how often you think that you're going to sit in a perched application, because it's not the most comfortable way to sit for most people. The next potential problem that you may run into when shopping for a chair with forward seat tilt is that it is a pretty rare function to find. Out of the 60 to maybe 80 chairs that we've had come through our office, I believe only 7 or 8 of them have forward seat tilt. So you're going to need to look at high-end chairs like the Aeron, the Fern, or you're going to look at chairs that are specialty in design, like petite chairs that have a ton of adjustments that we're going to show in this video, or you're going to need to find chairs that specifically have multifunction mechanisms, because those will give you that seat angle adjustment that can also double as forward seat tilt. Another thing to think about is that forward seat tilt is almost always going to increase the price of the chair that you're looking at. So it may be an additional upgrade like we see on the Aeron, or it may just push the price of the chair a little bit higher as a standard option, and you may not even be able to get the chair without forward seat tilt. So if you are shopping for a chair and you do not need forward seat tilt, then it may be good to look for chairs that don't offer that, because you are going to be paying a little bit extra for a function that you may not necessarily need. And the last thing that I want you to look out for when shopping for forward seat tilt is that not all office chairs will allow the back to move forward with the seat and keep your back supported in that upright position. So 2 examples of this would be the Fern chair from Hayworth and the X chair. Both of these chairs will give you forward seat tilt, but the backrest does not come fully up with you. So on the Fern, just the seat is going to move, and so you're going to be in a more perched position, but your back is not going to be supported. With the X chair, the back does come forward, but it does not come forward enough to allow you to keep your shoulders on the backrest. You can feel the lower part of the back on your lumbar area, but it's not going to give you full support like a lot of the other chairs that we see that offer forward seat tilt. And that's going to wrap up our video on forward seat tilt. I hope it was helpful for you. If there's an adjustment that you would really like education on, make sure to leave a comment below. We'll take a look and we'll make sure to make a video covering all of the adjustments that we can, so that you're the most educated that you can be when shopping for an office chair. If you've made it this far, I would super appreciate a smash on that like button. Make sure to subscribe, ding that bell, and hit up our socials for those giveaways. Thanks a lot for watching.